Hi, I'm Callise.
And my little robot was able to capture images of Kathy during our journey through Deliver Us Mars.
So I'm going to share my slideshow with you and tell you all about our journey.
I did use the photo mode feature in Deliver Us Mars, so if you don't want spoilers, now's the time to back out. I've been friends with Kathy since she was a little girl. They had a wonderful place on Earth for the longest time, and we would go swimming. I hadn't seen Kathy for the longest time because when she was a kid, her dad took her up to the moon for a while, and I don't know what happened up there, but she was separated from her father, and everyone was pretty angry at him. But Kathy and I had reunited when we had this job together to work on these satellite dishes. After we finished the job, we overheard Ryan talking about some mysterious meeting that we weren't allowed to go through. So of course we wanted to cut through the museum to figure out a way to eavesdrop into that meeting. As we cut through the museum, we saw a picture of her father, and she took a moment to look up at him. She hadn't seen him since she was a small child, and she longed to see him again. When we had snuck into the meeting, we had found out that her father had sent a distress call from Mars, and she found a way for us to get on the mission, and we were hoping maybe she could see her father again when we get to Mars. And this is an image of Earth as we just started our journey to Mars. And here is an image of Mars when we got there. We found an abandoned space station and we began to explore it to find out what happened here. Kathy mentioned this was a beautiful view. Kathy's sister was left on the ship while we took an escape pod and crash landed on Mars. We got separated from her sister, we got separated from the rest of the crew, and we were here trying to explore Mars and hoping to find Kathy's father here. We saw a structure in the distance and we knew we had to reach it because we were not going to survive without oxygen for long here. The structure turned out to be a quarry, and luckily the buildings had oxygen and we were able to refill our tanks. We were able to find a rover there, and luckily our crew had survived the crash. And this is the location they gave us to where we could meet up with them. There we found some strange tech that seemed very alien and very advanced. Kathy and I took a rover in search for the colonists and what happened to them and where her father was. We found a colonist and there was a ski lift to go down there. However, it was broken and we would have to travel on foot, and we were running so low on oxygen we barely made it to there. When we reached there, we were able to refill our oxygen tanks, and we were hoping to find people, but we didn't see anyone, so we used their computer and looked for high levels of power or a lot of oxygen use and began to search there. At first we thought this was a drill, but then we discovered it was pulling water from Mars. We discovered graffiti that said, "Let's go home," and there was a group there bombing the water supplies in attempts to try to force the group to go home. We found out a ship was crashing into Mars and we went to go investigate. We explored the ship wreckage to see if there was anything we could salvage. Inside the ship wreckage, there was this hallway, and I really liked the way the image looked. We found a really good power source that we would be able to salvage from the wreckage. Getting on top of the wreckage, we had the most beautiful view of Mars. We finally discovered what happened to the colonists, and they were able to create a habitat. And it was incredible, and these people would be able to survive living on Mars. There was only one thing Kathy thought was missing, and that was her father. And then she finally found him. After all these years, she was able to reunite with her father, and they were able to have a close embrace and just have a moment, father and daughter reuniting after all these years. They pulled away for a moment, and he commented about how much she had grown. And her father began to show us around the habitat and what a wonderful place it was and how they were able to sustain it and have life on Mars. And I told Kathy, we should just stay here.
Thanks for watching. Maybe you'll watch more. Maybe the video on the left, maybe the video on the right. If you're on a mobile device and you don't see any videos on the screen, it's in the description.